All right. All right. Today we have Dave Zierski here with Premier Mortgage Consultants, and then I also have my partner Danielle here as well. We're just going to go over a few different things. So if you're thinking about buying a house, you have an idea of a buyer, what the whole mortgage side of the process is about. So I guess, Dave, first thing, kind of picking your mind here a little bit. We always hear agents saying, it's a good idea to get pre-approved before you're looking at houses. But do you mind going a little in depth on why that's important?
Sure. Anytime you're going to look at a house or it's in your plans, you 100% want to get pre-approved so that you are ready to go. The market is extremely competitive right now, as we all know. Mm-hmm. And if you're not pre-approved, you're just wasting time when you're ready to put in an offer. You got to be ready to go.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, now as far as the pre-approval process, a lot of times people just assume, hey, I got a good job, or like I don't have a lot of debt. But what really goes into pre-qualifying somebody? So what are the points that you're looking at in their financial profile?
So with me anyways, if I send somebody a pre-approval letter, it's going to be solid. I ask a lot of questions, detailed questions. Mm-hmm. Where you work, your income, how long you've been on your job, everything that, how's your credit. I run the credit report and just make sure I'm getting really accurate information. Right. Because we all know that people send pre-approval out where it doesn't always happen.
Well, no, exactly. Case in point, it's really, really, and I'm sure Danielle can attest to this too, but it's so important where that pre-approval letter comes from. I actually had one that may or may not fall apart here. I had sent the young lady to you. You talked to her, said, I can't get her a loan. Her other lender said, oh, no problem. We have some different ratios. We have some magic. And a week ago or a few days ago, about a week out from closing, he calls and says, oh, I'm so sorry, I was wrong. We can't get her a loan. And so, horrible situation for her, everybody involved. But, you're right. For some odd reason, not all lenders are equal when it comes to getting pre-approved. And that's why, like, a lot of buyers probably shouldn't be going online and just filling out a quick pre-approval from Rocket Mortgage or something like that without actually speaking to somebody and going over some more of the details.
Right. A lot of times you will see people send over pre-approvals and you ask what their credit score is, and I don't know, I never had it pulled. Well, how can you write somebody a pre-approval if you did not even run their credit? And you will not believe how many times I hear that.
Right. Wow. Yeah, I guess one of the other things looking at too, so now you're a mortgage broker, and when I tell people that, usually I have to explain to them what that even means, because most people just think I'm going to get a loan from a bank or something like that. So do you mind explaining what the difference is working with somebody like you, like a mortgage broker, compared to a bank?
Sure. If you are going to the bank, basically you're only dealing with that banking institution. If you go to a mortgage broker, we have different options. We have different programs. We have more flexibility with debt to income ratio. We have better rates. We deal with the lenders on the wholesale side. So, right. For example, I've had a borrower go to Citizens directly. We deal with their wholesale company, which their rates are at least 0.25% lower.
Wow.
Same company. But I don't have the overhead. I'm not a paid employee, so we're offered their discount rates. And usually they're about 0.25% lower, and closing costs are lower.
Nice. Yeah, and I've kind of found that in general. I don't know. I know Danielle used Dave a lot as well. Mm-hmm. That in general, going to Dave, mortgage broker rates do tend to be a little bit lower than if you just walked in the door of a brick and mortar bank.
Absolutely. Dave, what kind of loans do you offer over there?
Well, we offer conventional mortgages, which is your standard, usually pretty good credit, a little more money to put down.
How much money do you have to put down on those?
You can put as little down as 3% on a conventional mortgage. Mm-hmm. Most 5% is more standard, but the whole way up to 20%, 25%, or whatever you want to put down.
Okay.
We also offer FHA loans, which is Federal Housing Administration. You have to have a 3.5% down payment on that program. FHA loans are a little more lenient than a conventional mortgage. If your credit score is not 750, 770 or higher, you have other options like FHA that will go down to a 660. FHA is also good if you have less money to put down and you can't go conventional. It's a good option for you.
Can you ask for the 6% seller's assist on both of those loans?
Only on FHA
Okay.
and conventional if you put down at least 10%. So you
Okay.
can get seller assists.
Okay.
USDA is another loan that we do. It's United States Department of Agriculture. They allow up to 6% seller assists. And VA loans, it's actually unlimited closing costs. So I've had a veteran get into a property with no money at all.
Is that true with USDA too? That's 100% financing?
It's 100% financing, correct, yes.
And that has to be a certain area in a certain
That
area?
is correct. It has to be more of a rural area.
Okay.
Yep. And I would go on the website for you and let you know if that particular property does qualify for USDA.
Great.
Cool. Yeah, no, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time coming in today. Hopefully that's, helpful to the general consumer out there, maybe even, agents that are out there. If you don't have a lender that's kind of your go-to, I suggest looking up Dave at Premier Mortgage. We've been using him. Literally has helped us with hundreds and hundreds of clients at this point over the years. And we do cross shop him all the time. So in 99.9% of the time, Dave has better rates. And more importantly, one of the things that I noticed that you do throughout the process is that you're always available. You're probably available too much in the sense of on the other side of life. But, I've contacted you on Saturdays and Sundays to get pre-approvals.
That's correct.
And I'll say one of the things to the consumers, just while we're talking a little bit here, is I've actually heard banks advertise before, like, our loan officers don't get paid commissions. Well, look, if you're a consumer, you want your lender to get paid on commission because then they have a vested interest in you buying that home, actually closing on the home. Whereas if your lender is on a salary, you probably will not be able to reach them after 5 o'clock on Friday until 9 o'clock on Monday morning. So just something important to kind of take a note. So again, just kind of harping on that commission piece, I think it's something that keeps us all, motivated compared again to the bank that doesn't really have a vested interest in if it closes or not, or rather that individual doesn't have that vested interest. Along those lines, again, just like we had mentioned, the first step of the process is getting pre-approved. We'll throw up some information here, on how to get in contact with Dave if you're thinking about buying a house. Dave also does refinances as well. So, as everybody knows right now, as of, March 2021, interest rates are super low. So, if you're in the 4s or 5s and you're planning on staying in your house, you absolutely should take advantage of this time. Reach out to Dave and get a much better rate.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Well,
Call
thanks
me
again.
anytime.
Thanks.
Thank you.